Hello, my little mathematicians. We are going to review order of operations, otherwise known as Pemdas. Since this is a review, go ahead and pause the video and then unpause it when you think you have it and check yourself. Okay. Now that you unpaused and you're back with us, I recommend that each time that you do one of these problems, you write out Pemdas. Remember, parentheses first, then exponents. Multiplication or division comes before addition or subtraction. Okay, so look for parentheses. This needs to be simplified down to a singular number. 7 minus 5 is 2. Then bring everything else surrounding that down. Okay, parentheses is singled down to a single number. Then exponents, 2 squared is 2 times itself, 2 times. So 2 squared is 4. Bring down the times 6 plus 3. Okay, parentheses is gone. Exponents is gone. Do you see any multiplication or division? Right here, 4 times 6 is 24. Okay, so that 4 is replaced because 4 times 6 is 24. So now bring down that plus, bring down that 3, and 3 plus 24 simplifies to 27. If you got that right, awesome job. Yay, you. All right, number 2. I want to go ahead and I want to simplify the fraction first. So I want to simplify the numerator and I want to simplify the denominator. So the numerator, let's focus on that first. Okay, that is not 2 times 5. It is 2 times itself 5 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 twos. And just to be safe, before you start multiplying, count that you have the right amount. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then 2 times 2, 2 times 2, and then that 2. So 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 2 is 4, bring down that guy. 4 times 4 is 16, bring down that guy. 16 times 2 is 32. So that means that 2 to the 5th power, or 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, is the same thing as 32. So that now represents the top numerator. And then for the denominator, 4 plus 4 is 8. Okay, now I have this simplified to like one single number over one single number. Okay, and then before I can multiply, I have to do this division because a fraction is division, right? It's the top divided by the bottom. So 32 divided by 8 is 4. And then 4 times 2 is 8. Okay, that one looked pretty scary. So if you got that one right, good job. All right, number 3. Do you see any parentheses? No. Do you see any exponents? No. Multiplication or division. Always start from left to right. There's the first multiplication or division that I see. You don't always multiply before you divide. M doesn't come before D. It's you multiply, divide before you add or subtract. So when deciding between multiplying and dividing, you go from left to right, just like you're reading a book. Okay. So 6 divided by 2 is 3. Bring down everything else that surrounds that. Okay. Now I'm just on this line. Parentheses are gone. Exponents are gone. Multiplication or division right there. 3 times 5 is 15. Bring down the plus, 3 minus, and 8. All right, everything's done now except for addition or subtraction. And just like when we were multiplying or dividing, multiplying doesn't always necessarily come before dividing. It's whatever comes first. Same things with addition and subtraction. Okay, whatever comes first. So this subtraction came first. So 8 minus 3 is 5. Bring down the plus, 15. And 5 plus 15 is 20. And if some of you guys were curious, you're like, why can't I go 3 plus 5 is 15? Or it's 3 plus 5. 3 plus 15 is 18. And then 8 minus 18, like, do you add that? Is that negative 10? I mean, that's not right. If I added them, it still wouldn't be 20. What? It's because it's a negative 3 plus 15, which is negative 12. Just 12. And then you would add that to this and you would get the 20, but we don't know how to do that. That's a little bit tricky. And that's why we always just say, go from left to right. Okay. Go from left to right. And then it makes all the hard, complicated things go away. And it prevents you from making silly errors, okay? All right, our next one. I want to simplify this fraction first, right? So let's focus on the numerator. But within the numerator, I need to first of all simplify this 3 squared. What is that? Hopefully you didn't say 6. Okay, it's not 3 times 2, it's 3 times 3, right? And it's helpful. I know it seems silly, but just write it out, 3 times 3, and then you're less likely to make an error. Because 3 times 3, you'll see, oh yeah, that's 9. Okay, so that gets replaced with a 9. Bring down the plus 6 over 5 minus 3 times 7. Okay, now to simplify the top, you just have 9 plus 6, which is 15 over 5 minus 3 times 7. Okay, the only thing that we're deciding between is multiplying, dividing, or subtracting. So the first thing we see is the multiplication, so let's do that first. 21 minus 15 over 5. And then between subtracting and dividing, multiplication, division come before subtracting. So 15 divided by 5 is 3 minus 21. And now you can go 21 minus 3, which is 18. Okay, quite a few room for error in that one. So if you got that one right, good job. And our last one, number 5. Parentheses first. Everything else kind of falls away. Now within those parentheses, the order of operations still applies. So before I can add, I need to divide. So I'm going to divide that. 12 divided by 2 is 6. Bring down the plus 1, parentheses, squared, 2 out there, plus 8. Okay, the only thing I simplified was that 12 divided by 2. Now, do you still see parentheses that need to be simplified down to a single number? We sure do right here. That 1 plus 6 can be simplified down to 7. Okay. This is where it gets tricky. What do you think? Do you do 2 times 7 and then square that, or do you do 7 squared first? A lot of you are thinking parentheses first, so I do the parentheses like 2 times 7. Okay, when it says parentheses, it means get the things within parentheses down to a singular number. We did. Now, and you're like, but I still see parentheses. These parentheses, I could have that say 2 parentheses 7 or 2 times 7, right? That's the same thing, okay? And then that 7 is being squared. So these are actually representing a multiplication thing, okay? Parentheses just means simplify it down to a singular number. Now, after that, then you look for exponents. So I want to square just the 7. That's the only thing in the parentheses that's being squared, right? So 7 squared is 7 times 7, which is 49. So I'm going to replace that with 49. That was a really tricky one, huh? Okay, now you have a multiplication or an addition. What do you do first? Okay, parentheses are down to a single number, exponents are gone, so I take care of the multiplication or division first. 49 times 2 is 18 plus 1. 8 plus 1 is 9, so that's 98 plus 8. And 98 plus 8, let's go ahead and add those. That's 16 plus 1. 1 and 9 make 10. So that simplifies to 106. Always do your scratch work stuff off to the side and then bring your numbers down straight. Keep your lines nice and neat and tidy. Just simplify one thing at a time and then bring the surrounding stuff down. And then double check, like go through that Pemdas each step of the way. And then that'll help alleviate mistakes that you could possibly make. If you got all of these right, congratulations. I purposely picked some really hard problems. Okay, so feel proud.